I just played against this guy, he's playing Katharina. So turn 1 play is nice. Maybe I don't keep the Glimmer Root since I have a bigger turn 3. I definitely prefer Glimmer Root over this Twilight Skull.
Is someone injured? Right away.
Play out a 3/4. This actually buffs his guy. Probably don't want to do that, so I'll just take a card here. Duskbreaker, not very good against his deck. But I guess it is a dragon to activate my Twilight Acolyte if I want to just throw down these Scalebanes. Shot my Cleric instead of my 3/3. Questionable. I can use the Shadow Madness here to kill both of his guys and keep my 3/3 in play. Or I can just trade off and play a 5/5. Shadow Madness isn't great, but it can deal with a Witchwood Grizzly later on, which could be really nice. Let's just get a 5/5 down. This obviously also has applications with the Twilight Acolyte I have in hand. So he could go like Katharina into a Charged Devilsaur, and I can just steal the Katharina, trade it off, and then send something else into the Devilsaur to finish it off. Katharina even pulls Scaleworm out of my deck. Or maybe an Amalgam. Man, I have so much Katharina synergy. Even Chameleos. Hopefully I don't hit Chameleos though. Well, he set up a board state where the Duskbreaker is actually good, so I probably just play it. Might have to go for the Twilight Acolyte play on this guy. It's actually pretty annoying that he hit that instead of the Charged Devilsaur. The 1 health difference is actually a pretty big deal. But if I just trade here and then trade off whatever comes out of it instead of just trading this thing off? Trading this off gives me a 4/4 though. I'll have, what, a 5/4 and a 4/4 in play against his nothing. That's pretty good, I guess. The other line leaves me with, what, a Twilight Acolyte against this? Seems kind of bad. Got the Amalgam instead of the 4/4. Am I just winning the race? Hit him for 6, whatever. That would have been a really good use for the Shadow Madness this turn. But I think last turn's use was also pretty good. Makes sense to kill this guy instead of the 6/3. Because the 6/3 gets about the same amount of trading value, but the Kobold stays alive. And what was this last turn? Should have been paying more attention. Now I know he has a Firefly in his hand, I guess. Well, Duskbreaker plus Glimmer Root looks decent here. Oh, it was a Stitch Tracker last turn, I believe. Maybe it was 2 turns ago that it was a Stitch Tracker. I don't know. I think his hand is Firefly Stitch Tracker. There's another Charged Devilsaur in hand. Man, it would be sick if I could keep this in play and then cube it next turn. But I think I'm just gonna play this. Lets me go face with those guys, contests his Devilsaur. I know 3 of the cards in his hand, and none of them are good into this obsidian statue.
My pack will hunt you down.
So he can trade the Devilsaur and a 1/2 in. If this kills the Houndmaster Shaw, I'm very happy. But even if it doesn't, I can just run a charged Devilsaur. Oh no, the Chameleos turns at the beginning of the turn. Hey, he has Katharina in hand. But let's see. I've seen King Crush. I've seen one Devilsaur, but it was off a Stitch Tracker, so he might have another one in his deck. I can never Stitch Tracker into lethal here, can I? Don't believe so. Can just pull out a 4/4 though. This is a lot of stats.
Where's my...
I'm at 30, and he's at 2, so feeling pretty good about this one. Even if he does still have a Charger in his deck, it's just not good enough to deal with my board here. Witchwood Grizzly is a bummer. I don't know how many Death Rattles I've lost this game. I think just this Katharina and the Obsidian statue. So I can Twilight's Call an Obsidian statue and then cube it to kill one of his dudes. Could be a way I could find lethal. Man, right now I have to send my whole board into that taunt. Well, let's go for the Obsidian statue line. That's a bummer. I guess I still trade into this? I mean, there's no way I'm finding an easy kill on it, I don't think. But I've got a cube that has 2 Obsidian statues in it right now, so that's pretty good. Unfortunately, this Katharina doesn't pull anything. I've drawn all 5 of my beasts.
I wonder.
He knows that pulls Obsidian statues, right? Alright, I guess he's just done. Well, I guess if it kills Katharina and he has another taunt in his deck, he's not dead here. I don't know how many Grizzlies I've seen. He conceded when it missed, so he must have had another taunt in there.
Randa versus Gul'dan. Your soul shall be mine.
A loon give me strength.
2/3 curve, I guess. Scale Worm was maybe keepable, but I have higher power level plays.
In the light's name.
Seth is good here. Shadow Madness should be pretty good in this matchup as well.
Blood will
Draw a card to the Cleric. It only has 1 less stat than the Nightmare Amalgam anyway because of the Keleseth buff. And it's nice to have the Dragon Activator in the hand.
reality breaks. Someone call for the doctor.
I could save my Cleric if I use the Shadow Madness here, but maybe I'm better off just playing this guy. Although if I play this guy, I don't have the activator for this. But there's really not much that I need to hit with the Twilight Acolyte against this Zoo deck. I'm just going to play a 3/4 here.
Right away.
This thing can kill 2 3/3s instead of a 2/1 and a 3/1. I'm just going to play this guy as a 3/5. Especially with the Keleseth buff, I don't think his Battlecry is very useful.
So many possibilities.
Could use the Shadow Madness here, but it looks like I have some decent trades and I'd rather just play a Coffin Crasher.
Someone call.
Okay, that's actually kind of obnoxious to deal with now. Oh, the second Kaliseth, though. Alright, second Kaliseth is the play for sure. Like, I don't know if it's actually the play, but it's the play. And I guess we'll use this thing. Nice single Kaliseth buff, loser. Man, that's a 5/5 Duskbreaker. Well, unfortunately, I think this is better than the Coffin Crasher. Because I can, like, heal up here, and then I get some value trades. Okay, that guy's actually pretty good. I could have traded differently with the Twilight Acolyte and the Scale Worm, but at the time I didn't think much about it. Probably should have. Well, let's play a 6/6.
Why do you call? Unleash me.
That's a big cube. Should I play it? I will never have a clear board for the rest of the game if I play the Carnivorous Cube here. But I can also play this guy. I'm not really worried about dying, though. And I'm just gonna play a 5/5 Duskbreaker. Like, I shouldn't ever want the Battlecry at this point. It's actually a good silence. Maybe I'm gonna regret cubing that guy. And maybe even playing the Duskbreaker. But like, look how big this guy is. I'm just gonna play this thing. So now my Shadow Reaper Anduin kills the two guys he just buffed. But I have to imagine at least one of them is getting traded into this. Oh no, actually it still lives. I don't think I need to play Anduin here. So I'm just gonna put some damage on this guy, heal him up and play a Coffin Crasher. Pretty happy with this board state, I think. Quite a board you've made there, friend. Man, I actually kind of wish he had the double Kaliseth buff. Well, let's do this, I guess. It's gonna kill off my Coffin Crasher, which pulls this guy out. And we'll just draw a card off of him, I guess. The +2 health didn't really matter, he had to trade everything into it anyway, but I wanted the card, my hero power didn't do anything. I mean, it always goes face, which is relevant, I guess, but whatever. Now that I've got this hero power online, I think he's gonna have trouble. These guys are both pretty big, so I can just play these and be pretty happy. What about Twilight's Call? 2 Coffin Crashers and Cube, which are all bad here. That Fester Root, the 2 smaller Fester Roots, and 2 Obsidian statues are all decent. I think I'm just gonna play this guy. Get that hero power value. Just take him 2 fatigue. One of these cards he has left should be Leroy, which is obviously bad for playing on board. Hopefully he's not playing Gul'dan, but I don't think it's common in that list. Alright, double Soulfire. Happy to have those out of the way. Yeah, this game was super over at this point.